Okay.
Great. I think I want to try this. Great. You'll be good at it. They're very supportive. My dad went to law school and is not a lawyer. He works at Boeing. But I don't know. I was like, well, Dad went to law school. I don't know. I want to try it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. And they're like, okay, great. You'll do fine.
Yeah. They were encouraging.
Of whatever I wanted to do. And it was like that when I played sports, too. Like, I wanted to try volleyball or soccer. And I was kind of naturally athletic. So I got to sort of do them all. And I had double majored in college in communications and in sociology of the law. So I tried one, and I didn't love it. And I knew I wanted to do something that I loved. I didn't want to feel like it was a job. I wanted to feel passionate about it. And my professor was the one who said, you don't like this, do you? I was like, actually, no, I really don't.
Wow.
And I was like, that was a light bulb moment. I was like, yep, I'm out. And I loved being around creative energy. And I'm naturally a very type A organized person, but I'm not a creative in the traditional sense of like a painter or an artist but I can help remove roadblocks to help other people actualize their creativity.
Yeah.
So that is my gift of how I contribute to the process. And I'm a creative problem solver. So, and I understand how all the different pieces team to work together. And I can represent the interests of my client or the interest of my company and the interest of the different disciplines and the artistic form that they bring together. And there's nothing sweeter for me than when I see beautiful work come together and I get like goosebumps, and it's just,
wow.
It's that magic for me. I love it.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. I said law degree. Do you have a law degree, or did you just drop out of law school?
I did not finish, so I don't have the degree.
Okay. Hey, perfect.
I did not finish.
But you were down that path.
Yeah, I had a scholarship.
Wow.
So, I mean, I could have, but I just, wasn't for me.
I think I know how you're going to answer this, but do you feel any guilt for not finishing that degree?
Nah.
No, you're happy with where you're at.
Yeah, I never regretted that choice. It was like, those times when you're faced with a decision in life and you just know the answer?
Yeah.
Like, some people say that way, like when they meet their spouse. Like, they just knew right away. And that was with me. It was like, I just knew.
Yeah.
And I felt like I've had that moment a few times in life. But I mean, hey, I felt the same way about these shoes. So I was like, oh yeah, these are for me.
Yeah, well, they look great. We don't have video here, but they look great, everybody. The reason why I ask you about that is because I think there's a lot of people also that have degrees that they're not working in that arena, and there's a tremendous amount of guilt thinking, so I'm not using my degree.
Oh. Well, that's too bad for them. They should knock that off. I don't know. I mean, but back to authenticity and being courageous to just be true to yourself and who you are and embrace what you've achieved or the goals that you've yet to achieve. Like my father, for instance, he is getting, let me rephrase. He has worked in a career for a very long time. Mm-hmm. Not so sure how much he loves it, or is it just a job?
Yeah, well,
And I think a lot of people in that generation have stuck with something that they may or may not have loved. I don't know for sure. I'm not saying, just in case anybody's listening to me, I don't know. I'm pleading the fifth. But I just always wanted to do something I loved. And I'll encourage my kids to do something that they love as long as it includes finishing college. They got to finish college.
You got to finish college.
Yeah. So
why is that? Why is that important to you?
I just feel like I want them to be able to check that box. Mm-hmm. And right now, if I was finishing college at this moment in time, I would have had to finish some sort of additional degree. Whether if it wasn't law school, it probably would have been grad school. It would have been something else. Because all of the kids coming out now that I'm interviewing for positions, oh my God, they're insanely overqualified.
Yeah.
I mean, they have multiple
Scholastically?
degrees. Yeah. They've done multiple internships. They've traveled around the world. They speak multiple languages. They've started companies. This one woman who works for me, she started a company in college. She hired me to do her marketing for her while she was still in college. Mm-hmm. Then after that, their company sort of disbanded, and now she works for me.
Wow.
But I'm so lucky to have her. I couldn't do it without her. She's an amazing asset. So the kids these days I feel like they're really hustling. Yeah. And this age group has been, I think, kind of knocked as being slackers. And I don't think that they are.
I don't think they are either. I mean, they're a product of us. And I don't think that we were slackers. I don't think that they are. I think they've gotten put into a corner inappropriately.
Bad rap.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I feel like I got off topic.
It's okay.
Sorry.
No, I think the point, though, is that you found something that you were interested in doing. You got to start in there wherever you had to start. In this case, you were the receptionist.
Yeah.
And you've transitioned through that career in marketing to where you're at today. Is there any big highs and lows throughout your career that are worth talking about?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there is, right?
Oh, yeah. I would say, all right, so a couple of my favorite moments when I was working at Saatchi & Saatchi, working on Toyota. I was the youngest supervisor that Saatchi had ever had because I was just, loving it, and I was working a lot. And I got to help launch the original Prius. I got to help launch Toyota into NASCAR, which was amazing. I got to work on Tundra at a very exciting time. I got to launch the Sienna Swagger wagon. I remember being like 9 months pregnant on this shoot, and, they were rapping about the minivan, and it's still, I think, the video that Toyota has that's gotten the most views on YouTube.
Is that what you have, Henry? Henry's got that.
You've got the Swagger wagon. I love it. And then, like, a couple years later, Busta Rhymes did, like, a follow-up, like, version to that song. It was, like, I was so proud of that. And then as I've transitioned in my career and I kind of got out of the day-to-day and I got more into, like, leading an agency, I'm proud of starting my own company. I'm proud of giving jobs and careers to others. I'm proud of the work I've done mentoring women. I have a tribe of women that I've helped teach and then help them kind of graduate from the Rachel's mentoring program, and they're now working at Chiat/Day, they're working at RPA, they're working at 72 and Sunny, they're starting their own companies, and I've either helped place them or support them, and I've got a whole other team that's like coming up through the ranks right now. It's amazing to be able to push them along and help support them because I'm a feminist and I want to support them. And so I'm very proud of that. And then my last thing I'll say on work is we did a shoot last week. One of my current clients is Red O, the Rick Bayless restaurant, and we're getting ready to launch a rebranding campaign for them. And we are working on something so cool. It might be the funnest shoot I've ever done.
Really? I'm
like so excited for this to come out later this month.
That's great. Well, as you know, we have a dinner coming up there for Baja United Wine.
This Thursday.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
With Monte Chinique, so we're excited about that. What a wonderful place. I thought you were just having some great lunches. I didn't realize you were working with Red O.
Yeah.
Henry, that's in your neck of the woods. You're in Newport Coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's up there. We have to go over there.
Yeah. Oh, something else I have to say. Okay. Something really cool. One of my other favorite clients is Bespoke by Dave Welch, who I love. And they showcased in OC Fashion Week last year. And through that experience, I got to know Kathy Marino, who runs OC Fashion Week. And she's become a good friend. And we're getting ready to do OC Fashion Week at the end of September 29th. And she asked me to co-host it this year. So I've been getting to meet with all of the designers and interview them about their collection.
Wow.
And it's just such a trip. I never thought I'd be involved in fashion. I love fashion, but I just didn't know how to get involved with it. And the fact that this creativity and this amazing work is all coming out of Orange County, I mean, it furthers my mission to prove that this is a place where people are inspired to do their most creative work.
I'm excited to follow your story along, and it sounds like you've got a mentoring program, that you're helping others. How does somebody get involved with that, or how do they find out about that? Because that's exactly the person I want our listeners to go do that, right? Yeah. I want our female listeners, if this is a female thing, to go do that because I think you're amazing, and I want to know how they get to go do that.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, you can email me, Rachel@gigasavvy.com, or you can follow me at rachelswoboda.oc on Instagram. And then one Friday a month, I come to the Center Club, and the girls have coined it Heels and Hustle.
Okay.
And one Friday a month, I take the whole day, and I take coffee meetings, and I meet with anybody that wants to take a meeting to talk about anything that they want to talk about. And it could be a high school student, a college student, another business owner. A professor. I've had all different walks of life come. And I'll schedule them like either half an hour, back to back all day.
Yeah.
And sometimes they come and then they leave. Other times they'll stay and the group keeps growing and growing. And like one day, a couple months ago, we had like 12 women all sitting around the table, and then they started mentoring each other and they started sharing stories. And they're like, oh my God, can we stay in touch?
Wow.
And I was like, this is the community. This is the tribe. This is what I love.
Yeah, that's great.
And so on my Instagram and my link tree, there's a Calendly thing, and you can pick a date and time that works for anyone's calendar, that works for you, and come join me at the Center Club. I love it here, by the way.
How interesting that we're at the Center Club. That's where I was doing my thing today, and this is your home base.
Oh, I mean, I love the Giga Savvy office, but Center Club is my home away from home.
Yeah. Thanks again, Henry, for having your membership.
Yeah. I'm on the membership committee here. I love it.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you say about their opportunity to meet with you and these things. What would somebody learn if they spent some time with you? What are some of the key points that you talk about?
Let's see. A lot of times, I actually have a PowerPoint deck that I will bring up because most of the time people say, well, how do I get a job?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I don't mind taking you through the deck and explaining to people, like how does an advertising agency work and what are the different departments within it. I'm happy to explain that. I'm also happy to give people sort of the recipe for networking because it's no accident the way networking, when it's done right, should happen. There's absolutely a method to that madness rather than just showing up. So there's that I will talk about often. One of the things that I tell people is the best thing they can do is find a way to connect with me or anybody that they're talking to when they want something, but don't ask me for a job. Find a way to add value in another way that's of interest to me. Do your homework. Know before you show up something about me and something that I might find interesting, whether you just read an article online or you saw a video and you're going to send me the link, or you read a book, or you're going to an event. Like have some sort of like intellectual money. What's the currency? An intellectual currency to share, because I'm happy to give you all of mine, but have something interesting to share back.
That value for value. Like David Meltzer talks about value for value.
Yes.
Bring it in.
It doesn't cost anything. It doesn't have to be that way. But ultimately, at the end of the day, it's a win for them if they can walk away with a solid reason to follow up with me. Not just thanks for your time, but thanks for your time. And remember we talked about this thing. I thought you'd really like it. That goes a long way for me. And there was a gentleman I met. This is quick sidebar here. I was in Corona Del Mar, and this band was playing, and I met this woman, and she goes, "Oh, my son is in this band that's playing." Oh, great. Okay, we're chatting. And a couple months later, he emails me, and he's like, "Hey, my mom said that you were really nice." I was like, "Okay, hi." He was like, "I'm starting a video podcast called Partner Channel OC. Can I interview you?" I was like, "Okay." So he came by my office and interviewed me, and then a couple weeks later brought me a box of Sugarfina candy. It's a thank you for my time.
Wow.
And he's just this young up and coming kid, just, hey, I'm here to help.
Yeah.
He hasn't asked me for anything, and hey, if he ever does, I'd be happy to help him get a job or
get
connected or anything, because he just has a giving spirit.
Yeah.
And I really respect that.
I don't think enough people understand the value in that, to be honest with you.
Some of my partners at Giga Savvy, they say that what I do with people is called the soft touch, because a lot of my clients, we share gifts. We'll send cookies or, it's so much more hands-on. I'll go to someone's daughter's softball game, or I'll know when their wedding anniversary is. It's because I care enough to pay attention.
Yeah.
And that is a lost art that people don't do anymore. So it's just the way I was raised, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I think it's a lost art, like you said. I had somebody ask me for some business advice. I had a massive client, Landry's. They're the largest privately owned restaurant group in the United States. And they said, "How did you get that account?" And I said, "It was as simple as just doing what you said you were going to do." And well, what do you mean? Well, I said I was going to deliver this item at this price, and I did it. And he's like, yeah, but what's the secret? I'm like, no, there's no secret. Just do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
Follow through, be a good person, add value to the conversation, and you'll get the business. And people forgot about that.
Yeah. I don't